So there's we talked about how Henry Cavill has exited The Witcher,
Yeah,
but there's actually a domino effect of stories
there sure
that
is.
that are involved in this, and I probably going to get some of these details wrong, but I tried to piece together as best I could
I've been
exactly
following
what's
it
going
myself.
on. So Henry exiting The Witcher was one side of the piece of the puzzle, and they discussed like the onsets, difficult stuff with the writers and the bits where it was like he wasn't happy about this and that. But behind all of that, it seemed like there was also supposedly a another reason for him leaving was so that he could reclaim the mantle as Superman,
Right.
at which which he was done with up until the point when the Rock shows up and does all that pre Black Adam material going on about how the hierarchy of power is
And then he
changing.
may have committed financial crimes by leaking fake financial data about Black Adam.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I caught that they looked at the opening weekend numbers and included like toys and
So, so Rock put out like this.
merch.
Sorry, Rock allegedly put out like a statement of like the opening weekend, which was like complete fucking bullshit.
Okay,
When the
yeah, that's the
movie,
same thing then.
when the
Yeah.
movie actually totally lost a bunch of money, and he was like, "Yeah, look, Black Adam killing it," and it's like you're allegedly publishing like straight up fake financial documents
It
to
it
make your movie look good.
again, as far as I heard, it was including like yeah, T-shirts and toys and all kinds
Uh,
of other shit that's not the movie, right? The idea, of course, of like because he's one of those dudes that shows up in the commercial, which again you haven't seen an American TV commercial or a movie commercial in a long time, probably. But they're unrecognizable these days because it's not like a movie trailer anymore. It's The Rock sitting in a chair going, "Let me tell you why you're missing out on Black Adam if you haven't seen it yet. It's the number one movie in America." And then the top and the bottom of the screen are just the date and then hashtag Black Adam or whatever. And then he'll just go on, and then it'll just be about how the FOMO of you not going to see the thing with a bunch of out of context clips. And then it's like,
please,
is there a
please,
movie?
fucking, please
Or is
go
it
see my shitty movie, please.
or is it just him sitting in a chair? Like critics are calling the Black Adam the number one movie. And it's like that's what these American fucking movie trailer commercials are now. They're the weirdest things ever, and every time I see them, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But who cares? His whole bit with like coming to the DC universe and all that shit. Like, okay, so we like Shazam, and like kind of we're just thinking like, oh yeah, that's the rival, and The Rock is bigger than the character, so he's probably not going to sign on to that unless it's got some major asterisks involved with turning Black Adam into something bigger than he originally was.
He wants to be Black Superman.
Exactly.
Like, it's
And
straight up, like
yeah, because Black Adam's supposed to fight
Shazam.
fucking
They're the same fucking character.
supposed to fight it's supposed to Captain Marvel but like fighting Zach Braff is not quite the same level of star power, certainly. So in terms of character power, you gotta go for Superman. So that's what he was angling for, and they kind of DC didn't really. It seemed like they kind of loosely agreed, but were also planning to reboot everything with James Gunn at the head.
Hmm.
So they just hired him to be. Did I say Zach Braff? Zach Levi.
You did, you
Excuse
sure
me.
did.
Yeah, Zach Levi.
That'd be a very different movie.
Well, I mean, Chuck and Scrubs, they're not so different, are they? Think of the fucking dorky white guy going,
I mean,
"Whoa!"
they're both fucking trash. So I guess you're right there.
Just think of both of them going, "Whoa!" All right, good. Moving on. So when you get to the part where they go, "Hey, James Gunn is in charge of DC now. Wonder Woman 3 ain't happening because of whatever's going on with that," and they're looking to reboot everything, including Superman, and go to back and they're going to be telling a younger story or whatever. Henry Cavill, in the meantime, is popping off on Instagram, going, "I'm back, baby.
I'm
you
fucking
know,
Superman.
I left Geralt behind, and now the boy is back. Let's go. And then they're like, yeah, actually, about that, nah,
Nah, I'm not Superman
right?
anymore.
But clearly, like him and The Rock, at least, were like on the hype train of their own version of things, and he got, I guess, hung out to dry with the reboot. I don't know exactly what the communication or what is, but at the end of the day, James Gunn is not going in that direction. Whatever cameos he was going to play to build up to a Black Adam versus Superman movie ain't happening. And because we live in the modern fucking era, because we live in insert current year, the way part of this news story and the way you can hear The Rock's response to things is because he unfollowed the Black Adam and Warner Brothers accounts. And that's how uh-oh, looks like he's done with the character,
Oh, darn.
Now, of course, Henry, no shortage of scripts on his desk, I'm certain, is like, okay, on to the next. Here comes Warhammer 40K, and he's going to be heading that up.
Be an executive producer on it.
Not just starring, but actually producing, exactly. And that's going to be over at Amazon. So, I guess all's well that ends well. He gets to do some fucking Space Marine shit, which is you want to talk about him going off on like being a nerd and all this stuff. Like you don't get much more fucking in there than 40K shit, And in the end, probably a win all around in that regard.
Are you seeing this fucking story that came out on some fucking podcast with no fucking background that's trying to smear Cavill for leaving the Netflix show, so The Witcher?
Really?
Yeah, so I can't even remember the name of the fucking podcast, but some fucking podcast with no verification whatever came out and basically said that he left The Witcher because he was actually a misogynist and an asshole on set, and he was a toxic gamer. And like,
was this Castle Super Beast?
the source and the descriptions are like so fucking smeary and weird. So one of them is he refused to stop using gamer language with the cast. He was asked repeatedly to stop talking to people like they were his bros on the internet, and he would not. And then the other part is that he was apparently, I'm using big alleged, a misogynistic dickhead to all the writing staff on The Witcher, which he left The Witcher because he hated the writing staff because they kept writing shit that was impossible and was horribly inaccurate. Like, it was very public that him and the writing staff like did not get along. There's a clip of him hanging out with fucking Colbert on the Colbert show on the late night, and Colbert asks him, "Hey, if you as Henry Cavill, what potion would you drink from Geralt's?" And he looks at him and goes, "Nothing." And he goes, "Yeah, but," he's like, "Well, did you not hear what I said? They're toxic. They would kill me." And we're talking to Colbert like Colbert's a fucking idiot. Like, that's the stupidest fucking question he could ask. I could easily transplant that dude into the fucking writing room in which people like, and then Geralt did this. And he's like, that's fucking stupid. You can't do that. They wrote it in the book. You can't do that.
Just to clarify, when the accusations of him saying gamer words came out, are we talking like he kept saying poggers? Like
shit, like
okay,
like racisms or anything.
Okay, all right.
Just like he kept talking like a dude, bro, gamer.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's like, man, somebody's real fucking mad that he yelled at people in the writing room. There was also accusations that he would rewrite episodes without telling people. And I'm like, no, actually, I can totally see that where he would go, no, you can't do this, and you can't do this, and Geralt wouldn't do this. And like, it just seems like this really shitty, smeary way to describe somebody who was unhappy with how inaccurate the show he was working on. And then, hey, look at that. He's executive producer on the Warhammer thing.
Yes, right. Making sure, yeah. That was the first when we covered the story when it first came out. Like the description, about the problems that he was having with the writing and stuff. Like were backed up by the guy who was over there, who's currently running X-Men '97.
Yeah.
Again, I forgot his name, but like, that was the first angle of it. Was just like the source material is not being respected in his opinion, So at the end of the day, I suppose if you're looking at this, I'd say Henry gets a pretty good run because he does Superman for a while.
He was also unhappy with a lot of the portrayal of Superman. He wanted to be the happy,
the joyful Superman.
Superman.
Yeah. Well, that's not what the Snyderverse has in store for you, because you gotta ask if we live in a society, and zoom in on the damage tattoos,
Yeah,
and do what you gotta do. No, you get a pretty good run when you go. All right, you got Superman for a bit. You did The Witcher for a bit, and now you get to bring Warhammer to life, and like that's a whole other crazy
Space Marine.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know what other like major like Emperor of Man. I don't know. Put him on a bunch of
no, you
makeup
can't.
on.
No, he can't be the Emperor of Man. I'm telling you right now. Henry Cavill as the Emperor of Man would be the shittiest casting in the history of fucking nerd movies ever, because it would be a fucking skeletal corpse in a chair that can't move or speak.
Okay, I'm not saying it would be the best casting decision, but I'm saying, don't you think he would fucking love that?
No, he would want to be a Primarch.
You think so? Okay.
And
all right.
And he would not want to be the Ultramarine Primarch because the Ultramarines are the popular faction. He would want to be one of the weirdo side factions.
I don't know enough to know anything.
I'll tell you this. If you see the trailer for this Warhammer thing and Henry Cavill is a fucking Space Marine in that, I bet you anything his armor will not be blue.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Now, and I suppose the other bit is like, when you decide to take a slice of this fucking codex and present it self-contained for Amazon TV, whatever, us, casual audience, new viewers, etc. Like, in my head, live action Warhammer costs infinity dollars and then some. Like, what is there to... Can we go somewhere where we're just, like, the budget can be sane by sticking to, like, one ship? Or, like, I don't know. I don't know. But it sounds in my head like it would be just anything Warhammer related is infinity dollars.
There's a lot.
Like, the Vermintide and Darktide stuff, obviously, is just, okay, let's go down to ground level and,
Yeah, but even ground level in Darktide, you have like upside down cathedrals in cities that like reach into the fucking patch of cloud.
I don't know. Just how many Bezos bucks can you spend? Representing giant space wars.
Probably a lot.
So yeah, to me, that resume, that's a pretty good run. That ain't nothing to scoff at, And if he nails it, he gets to be the hero of Warhammer. So,
a good run lately.
And yeah, and
their licenses have been going out really well. The company that makes it are fucking scumbags. And will fuck your bullshit over unless you work for them.
So I've heard.
The actual output's been pretty good.
And yeah, maybe we can get a rock skin for Black Adam in Injustice 3.
No.
Well,
Ed Boon's such an asshole, by the way.
He just sees he openly admits that he's just he's like, I can't say anything. It's like, then don't.
Like there's
Then
like,
don't say anything.
Tweet about injustice rumors, and he just responded like, "Boy, I wish I could respond to this without creating creating a news thing." And then everyone's like, "Injustice 3 is coming out, and look, Ed Boon says he can't talk about it." Like, fucking God, he knows what he's doing.
But but at the same time, there needs to be someone to point to constantly tell everybody, don't listen, don't believe his lies. Like they're
he's the worst ever.
Because if there isn't a constant reminder, then again, the Def Jam problem. They make it their lies Def Jam continues to lie aggressively and bullshit everybody on Twitter because they only do it once every 2 years.
God, it's awful.
Right? If you keep it far and few enough in between, everyone forgets. Remember, Reboot was rebooting 8 times between the end of the show and when the fucking thing happened. You just gotta space it out. And every 24 months, people kind of forget the last thing you said. So you come back with another stupid thing and everyone gets excited again. And then the news cycle goes nowhere. And then 2 years later, you just get to do it again. Ed Boon's doing it frequently enough that you can point to that as an example and go, don't listen to that shit.
Like, I bet you if you walked up to Ed Boon on the street right now and said, "Hey, Ed, did they find the last secret in MK2?" He would smile and he'd go, "No, there's one more." And it's like, they have data mined that game, Ed. They found the last one you were talking about. You were so full of shit.
Yeah.
And then he would skip away and laugh and throw his head back and go, "Ha ha ha." Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like I hid my name in the code somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, so all of that goes down, and I like again. I it seems to be dubs across the board because, quite frankly, a James Gunn reboot of the DC universe couldn't be a bad thing.
Sure, why not?
Some consistency could probably
second Suicide Squad movie was fine. It was totally fine.
Yeah, I guess it's like the one that works. It's like, okay, he did it. Okay, just hand him the whole thing. You have the keys to the kingdom now because you got everybody on board.
Oh man, I'm just hoping like in the Young Superman by James Gunn, his dad walks up to him and goes, "Maybe you should hide your powers and let those kids die." And then they stare at each other and it's somber, and then they just start to laugh. And then they laugh for 10 minutes. And they go, "Oh, that was stupid."
The other bit is if they keep doing the Joker style bit thing where you're like, "Hey, are these connected?" No, shut up. Who cares? They're movies. Let them be what they are.
Hey, guess what? A movie is like a movie. It's not like a real thing.
Like the CU part of the CU thing. If you're not gonna, I mean, look, Marvel has exhausted it, right? Like they had a really good run. The new shit is like people are still the formula has overstayed its welcome. So getting people to sign up for like 15 to 20 movies is financially irresistible. But guess what? When The Matrix did its trilogy back in the day, and then everything had to be a trilogy, and then, like Lord of the Rings did its bit, and then Harry Potter did its bit, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, the big thing now is to announce a trilogy, don't announce a movie. Like, yeah.
That happened in games too, and it didn't work out very well for almost any of them.
On to the fucking next, man. People are tired, So, focus on individual things being good. And then if you want to weave a narrative at some point, you can maybe start thinking about it when you have a body of work that proves you can fucking actually do the individual steps properly.
You know what I want to go back to? I want to go back to the era of every single movie and video game having a cliffhanger that you looked at and you were like, "That's not going to fucking go anywhere." that's not going to do shit. They're not doing nothing with that.
Damn, dude, when Shao Kahn popped out and said, "You weak, pathetic fools," and Chris Lambert turns around and the music starts playing. What a pop, man. That shit. Damn, that was a time to be alive.